Hello everyone. We are back. This is Blade. I hope everyone's doing great. And as you guys can see, today's video gonna be a little bit special. We're gonna talk about build and runes, and it's not gonna be about gameplay. Okay. So before the video starts, I need to mention something. Okay. I am not the best Talon one trick, and I repeat myself. I am not the best Talon one trick in the world. I never claimed to be. I barely reached GM this season, and I dropped after 4 or 5 days. I dropped from GM. And I've been master for a really long time, but yeah, so I'm not the best Talon one tricks. But the reason why you should listen to me, or you should listen to my build and rune guide, is because I have a proof in statistics. I'm going to show also at the end of the video, I'm going to show OBWG on the best Talon one tricks, who obviously Challenger in Korea, or all of them reach at least 1k LP in Korea server. Okay, they're using the same build, the same runes, and I obviously did my research. I also have loot analytics, statistics, win rates on what's the best build, what's the best items. Okay, so this is the reason why you should listen to me, not because I'm a Talon one trick. It's because I actually have statistics and I have proof and I have examples on best Talon one tricks around the world. I'm gonna show the OBDG and statistics at the end of the video. Okay, so let's jump straight to the video. So what's the best runes? What's the best secondary runes on Talon right now, the meta on Talon? The best runes I'm going to show you right now on your screen is going to be Conqueror, then it's going to be Triumph, then it's going to be Legend of Haste, then Last Dance. Your secondary runes is going to be Magic Footwear and Biscuit. Now, it can be changed. Those runes are not absolute. It can be changed. For example, you can swap Legend of Haste with Legend of Alacrity. However, if you are below Diamond, or even a Diamond player, I truly recommend to take Legend of Haste rather than Legend of Alacrity, because Legend of Alacrity, you need some skill. Meaning, you need to weave your autos between your abilities to stack your Conqueror. Then and only then, Legend of Alacrity can give you more value than Legend of Haste. And even in some situations, Legend of Haste will give you more value than Legend of Alacrity. So that's why if you're below Diamond, I truly recommend you just take Legend of Haste and be in the safe side, because Legend of Haste will always be useful. Legend of Alacrity, if you're not weaving your autos between your abilities, then you're not going to get any value from it. It's better to take just Legend of Alacrity. So that's the reason. Also, if you feel like you're running out of mana a lot, you can actually take Presence of Mind rather than Triumph. Okay? You can swap Presence of Mind for Triumph. However, Triumph statistically have higher win rate. So maybe just better to take just Triumph. Triumph will always be good in every single situation, right? There's no reason not to take Triumph. And also give you 20 gold. Okay? Lastly, you have Last Dance. Last Dance is just absolutely the best slot in the Prison's Tree. In the last row in the Prison's Tree. However, you can actually swap Last Dance with Cut Down if you're playing against a squishier comp. However, you will play Conqueror against almost every single comp. You can play Conqueror and it's still gonna work, okay? Your secondary runes, however, we're taking the we're taking the Inspiration Tree. And the reason why we're taking Inspiration Tree, because it's just simply consistent. It's just simply consistent, right? It will always, the Magic Footwear will always gonna give you you're always gonna get the Magic Footwear, which is the value of Magic Footwear is around 300 gold. It's actually a little bit higher than 300 gold because it gives you 10 extra movement speed. And also the Biscuit, you get it early and you're always gonna get your Biscuit in 6 minutes, so it's consistent. That's what I'm talking. Biscuit will always gonna give you the same value every single game, if you're ahead or behind. So it's like the consistency which make Inspiration Tree secondary really good. Okay? So right now, this is gonna be the build. I'm not gonna show you Electrocute because I don't think Electrocute is good in high elo, unfortunately. Okay? So let's go to build and runes at the moment. What's the best build? What's the best runes? Now you guys need to really focus because I'm about to dump a lot of information about you. Okay? So the first item you wanna rush is Profane Hydra. Now, to be honest, Profane Hydra is not the greatest. Well, I mean, the reason why it's not the greatest because it has a lot of weaknesses. Profane Hydra has one of the worst build paths, Tiamat, and literally Brutalizer. One of the worst build path in the whole fucking game. Okay? Like, you're spending 500 gold just to get the Tiamat active. This is insane. And you're also spending, like, you buy pickaxe, 25 AD, and if you finish Brutalizer, you don't get extra AD. So you're literally spending so much gold. The build path is you're spending so much gold, and you're not getting really small value. Only once you finish Profane Hydra, you actually get a lot of value. Okay, so Profane Hydra, when you should rush Profane Hydra is when you're playing against control mages or playing against a little bit squishier team. If you have like Soraka and the enemy team is Soraka support, AD carry, and then Hui in the mid lane, then rushing Profane Hydra will be most likely the best items you rush. Because if you're playing against control mages, it's all about wave clear and clearing waves and roaming. And also in the late game, Profane Hydra will give you more value than Eclipse. And I'm going to also mention Eclipse in a second. It's going to give you more damage than Eclipse and more value than Eclipse because the enemy team are much more squishier. Okay? Then, now, what's the second option? The second option is Eclipse. I can say, people are gonna flame the living hell out of you. People are gonna say, Eclipse not good. What the hell are you doing? A lot of people in high elo are gonna say Eclipse is shit items on Talon, and I completely disagree. Eclipse can be really, really fucking good in a correct situation. Okay, when should you rush Eclipse? If you're playing against a heavy melee team, if there's 3 or more melee champions in the enemy team, you should rush Eclipse. It's just so good. And also, if they have 2 champions or at least 1 champion that stacks HP, if they have Sion and they have Lee Sin, what do you think Lee Sin gonna go? Lee Sin gonna go Eclipse, gonna go Thunder's Guy, gonna go Black Cleaver. So these items has a lot of HP. Sion also has a lot of HP. So going Eclipse will give you more damage and make you tankier than Profane Hydra. Right? It can make you Profane Hydra, but again, you need to play... Eclipse will only give you more value if you're playing against melee champion. Heavy melee team comp. So 3 melees or more, Eclipse should be your first option. So not right now. So we know how to itemize right now, the first item. If you're playing against heavy melee team, go Eclipse. If you're playing against squishier teams or range, you want to go Profane Hydra first item. Okay, so Blade, what's the second item? The second item is Black Cleaver. Will always be Black Cleaver. I don't care how you build, what's your first item is. You will always build Black Cleaver second item because it's simply the best slot. It has the highest win rate. It has 60% win rate if you finish Black Cleaver on your second item. It's insane. Now, there's a trick. When you're playing Magic Footwear, you generally do not want to finish tier 2 boots. This is really important. Let's use all the cookies because we're gonna use all the cookies. Okay. You generally do not want to build tier 2 boots. You're not gonna buy tier 1 boots because you already have Magic Footwear in your runes. Okay. You already have tier 1 boots in your runes. You're gonna get this Magic Footwear. Now, you generally do not want to finish tier 2 boots. You don't want to buy Plated Seal or Milk Treads. You generally don't want to go Lucidity boots unless you have the Fate of Strength. You can build tier 3 boots, but we can talk about later. But you generally do not want to finish tier 2 boots unless you absolutely need to. For example, if the enemy support is Leona and you're playing against Malzahar or Lissandra, then you should rush Merc Treads. It's just I'll give you a lot of value. And also, if you're playing against Yasuo Yone and playing against maybe Jhin, Caitlyn, Draven, right? You generally want to rush Plated Seal because it's just giving you a lot of value. However, if I'm playing against Diana mid lane, and then they don't have, let's imagine they have Nami, or they don't have Leon, they have Soraka, you generally do not want to rush Plated Seal because it's not going to give you a lot of value because you're playing against Diana. And also, they don't have a lot of CC, so you generally don't want to go Merc Treads too. So you skip tier 2 boots. You don't build tier 2 boots after your first item. What you want to do is rush Black Cleaver, and this is really key. You want to skip tier 2 boots and rush Black Cleaver. And after finishing Black Cleaver, then you're going to go, if they have a little bit CC, you're going to go Merc Treads. If they have auto attacks, you're going to go Plated Seal, right? So yeah, so for the sake of this video, I'm going to go rush Plated Seal, right? But again, if you don't need tier 2 boots, do not build it, skip it, and go for the Black Cleaver immediately. This is your power spike. The moment you finish Black Cleaver, this is where Conquer Talon reach actually the power spike you need, okay? Third item is going to be Sundered Sky. Now, you have 2 options, to be honest. You have 2 options. You can go Sundered Sky, which is generally good, or you can go Spear of Trojan. So people can ask me, Blade, when should I go Spear of Trojan? When should I go Sundered Sky? Which one is better? Both of them are really good. It just depends with what you really want. Let's imagine you don't have a front line. Let's imagine you have a Quinn topside. Let's imagine you have a Quinn topside, and you have Diana in the jungle, and you have AD carry, and then you have Nabi. So you don't have a front line. You don't have a front line. Diana is not a front line. Diana is like a diver. They're not a front line. So in this case, you want to become more tanky. You want to remove Spear of Trojan and build Cinder Sky because Cinder Sky will make you a tankier. So you can become a frontliner. You will frontline for your team. However, let's imagine I have Cyan, or I have Maokai in topside, or I have Mundo in topside. I have a tank that can frontline for me. I generally want to skip Sun Sky and go Spear of Trojan. Why? Because I'm not going to be a frontline, I'm going to be a flanker. I'm going to go flank and try to reach the AD carry, and Spear of Trojan will give you more damage than Thunder Sky. I'm also going to give you ability haste, so you can actually kill your target. Okay? Good, 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 good. So this is your third option, okay? A Black Cleaver, you will always build the second items. Your first item depends on if the enemy team is heavy melee or not, or squishy or not. Your third item depends if you're frontline or not, okay? But in this sake of video, I'm gonna go Thunder Sky, okay? The last two items gonna be situational, okay? I generally go Death Sense then Ma. Generally, I go Death Sense and Ma. However, if they have Yasuo Yone, and they have, again, Caitlyn, they have a large crit. You can literally sell Ma. You can literally sell Ma and build randoms. Your last two items are literally situational. Last two items are literally to build to counter the enemy team. I generally go Ma and then Ma and Death Stance. But you can, if they're heavy AD, if they're full AD, you can just skip Ma and then go Serax. Or you can literally go Thornmail. I am not joking. The last two items are completely situational. You can build however you want, just to counter the enemy team. Okay, the last two items, situational. But I prefer Death Stance, because Death Stance synergizes really well with Eclipse and Thunder Sky, because Thunder Sky give you health, Eclipse give you shield, and Thunder Sky delays the damage. So it's really, really good to build Death Stance. It's really generally good to build Death Stance. The last item is generally optional, again, as I mentioned before. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna go Ma. Okay, I'm gonna go Ma. So this is generally gonna be how you itemize on Conquer Talon. Now, the last section, I will show you how to combo with Conquer Talon, because most people do this. I'm gonna put a dummy here. Okay, so how are you supposed to play Conquer Talon? I'm gonna just show you really, really quick. I don't want the video to be too long. Unfortunately, that's why I'm talking too really, really fast. Okay, so how are you supposed to play Conquer Talon? In late game, if you wanna combo against the enemy team, you do not want to do WQR. If you do WQR, I will get stroke. You're literally a terrorist. Because WQR is really bad. Because you don't have full Conqueror stacks, you don't have full Black Cleaver stacks, and then you proc your passive. This is really, really bad. So how are you supposed to play Conquer Talon? You're really, really tanky. And look at the resistance. You almost have 200 armor. And you have Death Sense, and you have Big Seal, and you have like your Mars Shield. So you're really, really tanky. So how are you supposed to combo? The way you're supposed to combo is first stack your Black Cleaver, stack your Conqueror, and then proc your passive. So this is how you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do Q auto, W, R, and then you wait for another Q, and then do auto, Q auto, and then W. You have full Conqueror stacks, full Black Cleaver stacks, and you proc your passive. Let's actually remove the cooldowns so I can show you here. So watch this. This is how you're supposed to combo. Let me remove the cooldowns. So you're supposed to Q auto, W, R, and then wait for your another Q, and you do auto, Q auto, and then you have another W. So they have full Conquer stacks, full Black Cleaver stacks. I'm gonna do it one last time. So we're gonna do the combo again. We're gonna generally you wanna do Q auto, W, and then R. Oh shit, I don't have my R. Wait, my bad. We're gonna do it one more time. Okay. Let me remove the Black Cleaver and my passive stack. Okay, we're gonna do a Q auto, W, R, and then you wait for ability, and you have a Conquer stack. Auto, Q auto, and then you generally have full Conquer stacks, full Black Cleaver shred, and then you proc your passive. You will one-shot any AD carry if you do this combo. If you Q auto them, then W, R, and then another Q, and you proc your passive, you will one-shot every single AD. Bro. This build, this combo, kills bruisers. This does not kill AD, this kills bruisers. So if you cannot kill if you can kill a 3k HP, 150 armor bruiser, you can definitely kill the AD carry. So yeah. So this is if you do WQR, this is really fucking bad. You're missing so much damage. This is really, really bad. So this is how you're supposed to combo. Now let me bring the OBG, and then let me bring the statistics for the for Conquer Talon. Now, this guy is the best mid laner in Korea at the moment. I mean, he's been the rank 1 Talon one trick in mid lane in Korea for literally at the start of the season. I've been tracking this guy for literally the past 9 months. I've been tracking this guy. This guy been rank 1 Talon mid lane for the past, literally, from the start of the season. Okay, so what does he go? He always go Conquer Talon. Always go Conquer Talon. Now, his build, his secondary runes, is a little bit different, to be honest. You usually go Nimbus Cloak and Transcendence. These are not consistent, because if you're below Diamond, you generally do not know how to get value from Nimbus Cloak. I mean, Transcendence will always give you value because it gives you ability haste, and he goes Legend of Alacrity. Again, as I mentioned, if you weave your autos between your abilities, Legend of Alacrity can give you a lot of value. If you don't, you're gonna lose a lot of value from Legend of Alacrity. So Legend of Haste is just simply a consistent, right? We want a consistency. Okay, so he generally go Yomus. He always go Yomus, Black Cleaver. He generally does not go Profane Hydra threat item. He goes, it depends on the situation. But yeah, but he will always go Conqueror. He always go Conqueror. He's been 1.2 KLP Challenger mid lane. And he just rushes Conqueror every single game. You can see, no matter who he plays against Smolder, Squishy, he goes Conqueror. He doesn't go Electrocute. He playing against Akali, he goes Conqueror. He goes Conqueror. He always go Conqueror no matter who he's playing against. Because Conqueror is simply better in almost every single situation. Almost every single situation. Okay? So this is the first guy. The second guy is another guy who's reached 1k. This is Korea, by the way. This is Korea. He's also a mid laner, and he plays Talon mid lane, and he reached 1k LP Grandmaster in Talon mid lane. So this guy rushes Eclipse. He rushes Eclipse, but not every single game, and not every single game, as you can see. Here he went Profane Hunter because he's playing against a squishy team. But here he's going Eclipse. So it depends on the situation. Now here he goes Resolve. I mean Inspiration, second runes, and he sometimes swap between Cosmic Insight and Biscuit. I generally love Biscuit, and again he goes Cut Down sometimes he goes Last Stance. But again, it depends on the situation. I generally like Last Stance because Last Stance is more consistent than Cut Down, and also I like Inspiration secondary runes because it's more consistent. Because I also tested these runes. And he loved to rush Teleport, by the way. So every Talon has a different playstyle. There's not one correct playstyle. Okay? There's not one correct playstyle. There's a different playstyle for every single Talon player. For example, the biggest example is this guy. He goes Teleport on Talon. I don't think Teleport is generally good, but I mean, if this guy reach 1k LP Grandmaster in Korea, I think it's viable. So it's viable to take Teleport, but I take Ignite. That's my playstyle, right? But he goes Eclipse and he goes Profane Hydra. It depends on the situation. Okay, and the last guy is not a mid laner, but he's Korea Challenger. There's only two Korea Challenger Talon one tricks, is Winter and this guy. This guy is a GM. I mean, he's almost Challenger. This guy plays Talon mid lane, Talon jungle, Talon mid lane, okay? And he swapped between Electrocute and Conqueror. So you can see it's still, I mean, Electrocute is viable, it's still viable, but I feel Conqueror is just simply better, even on statistics. So you can see, he goes Inspiration Tree, he goes Talon mid lane, and he goes Profane Hydra, then Black Cleaver, and then Thunder Sky, the same build. You can see he goes. It's the same build that I just showed you in the video, right? Again, you can swap Legend of Alacrity to Legend of Haste if you can weave your autos between your abilities. Okay, it's gonna give you a lot of value. But generally, you can do this. And this guy is 1.1 challenger at the moment in Korea server. Okay, so what's the last part? The last part is statistics. So let me show you real quick the last 14 days because we just hit the new patch. So this is statistics, analytics. So Talon mid lane, Master and Plus the last 14 days. And if you go all the way down, you can go all the way down. So you can see runes. You can see Conqueror has just 2% win rate higher than Electrocute in Master Plus. In High Elo. And the pick rate is almost the same. Almost so close the same. So close. So the win rate is just simply better. It's just simply better. And if you go to first items, you can see the three items. Now Eclipse does not have a good win rate because people are building Electrocute with Eclipse. If you build Electrocute with Eclipse, you're literally trolling because Eclipse is really bad with Electrocute. That's why the win rate of Eclipse is really bad. But generally, these two items are really good. I prefer Profane Hydra is better than Yomus to rush first item. You can see the win rate is just simply higher. But yeah, and you can see secondary item will always gonna be Black Cleaver. It's the best in slot item. You can see 58, almost 60% win rate, second item. The reason why there's opportunity second item is because of the Electrocute. Let's actually press only Conqueror and actually then see the win rate and only Conqueror. You can see, like, do you see this? Eclipse win rate actually increased because people are building Eclipse with Electrocute, which making the Eclipse win rate going down. But here it's only Conqueror. I'm showing only Conqueror. You can see Profane Hydra has simply higher pick rate and higher win rate than both these two items. But again, you can go Eclipse if you're playing against a heavy melee team comp, against a team comp that stacks HP. Black Cleaver is the best in-slot item as secondary runes, and then Thunder Sky. You can also build Spear of Trojan. Spear of Trojan does not show here. There's not a lot of people build it, to be honest, but has such a high win rate. But yeah, Thunder Sky, you can still build Thunder Sky. And the last two items are just situational. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This video is already 20 minutes, which I really do not want it to be 20 minutes. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, if this video was helpful, please drop a like and subscribe. And take care, everyone.